Good evening and welcome to Political Lens on Voice of the People Television, VOP. I am Chukwuma Okoro. Today we'll be looking at the suspension of Kogi Central Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan following allegations of sexual harassment she raised against Senate President Godswill Akpabio. I'm joined in the studio from our Benin studio by Comrade Roy Oriabo, a public affairs analyst, political analyst and commentator, and human rights activist, to make sense of this. We'll also be joined by Barrister Douglas Obankwa, who is a lawyer, policy analyst, a writer, and the convener of the Security Situation Room. Good evening to you, Barrister Comrade Roy Oriabo, and good to have you on the show.
For having me. Good evening, my brother.
Comrade Roy, good to see you. It's been a while. How is Benin City?
Far away from me.
Hello, comrade, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me also?
How is Benin City? How is Edo?
Very good. We are calm. Everywhere is calm, despite the insecurity that have bedeviled our society.
Anyway, if there's more like a contrast.
But that is the position for, we are very religious in this part of the world. We have to also put a over what we are doing.
We are dying, we say all is well, it is well. Oh well, now let's kick into the show. Yesterday, Kogi Central Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan was handed a 6-month suspension following recommendation made by privileges. Now, this decision comes after she publicly accused Senate President Godswill Akpabio of sexual harassment. The committee found her guilty of violating Senate rules as she failed to attend the investigative hearing where she could have defended herself. Well, the report includes a recommendation that Akpoti-Uduaghan's suspension may be reduced, but only if she issues a formal apology to the Senate President for her statement made during last week's plenary session. Oh well, the committee's 7-point recommendation delivered by Imasuen reads as follows. 1, that the Senate suspend Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan for 6 months for violating Senate rules and bringing public disgrace to the Senate and its leadership. Number 2, that her suspension may be reconsidered if she submits a written apology to the Senate. Number 3, the suspension takes effect from March 6, that's yesterday, 2020, barring her from all legislative activities. Number 4, her office will be locked and all Senate properties must be handed over to the Clerk of the National Assembly. Number 5, she and her staff are barred from entering Senate or National Assembly premises. Number 6, her salary and allowances, as well as those of her legislative aides, will be suspended and her security details will be revoked. Understand? Following the intervention of Senator Ojo Okalo, they had to drop that, meaning that her aides will have to receive her salaries for the period that she's under suspension. And finally, that she will not be allowed to represent herself as a senator, either in Nigeria or internationally, during the suspension. Well, while her office will be closed, her legislative aides will continue to receive their pay throughout this period. Despite the recommendations, the Senate has rejected proposal for an apology, stating that such a move will only be considered at the conclusion of her 6-month suspension. In response, Akpoti-Uduaghan's legal counsel, Victor Giwa, has described the Senate's action as a breach of a court order. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Bar Association has sexual harassment allegations against Akpabio. Now, Douglas Obankwa, Comrade Roy, let me ask you, what's your reaction to the whole issue of suspension? Suspension handed down to Senator Natasha Akpoti, given that she was not even given an opportunity for fair hearing. Recall what happened. She submitted a petition on Tuesday, and the Senate said, look, it is not acceptable because it was by her. By the time she returned it on Thursday, signed by her constituent, she was actually already been handed a suspension for 6 months. What's your broad reaction to all of this happening in the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria?
It's very unfortunate that we are discussing Nigeria Senate at this material time in a very bad light. To some of us, and to me personally, when I saw it, I I was very, very disappointed with the action of the Nigeria Senate. You know, you can see the way the Nigeria Senate were in a hurry to arrive at a very conclusion that will undermine their integrity. Have you seen the Nigeria Senate discussing national issues that will help the commoners? And when you see Nigeria issue, they arrive at the conclusion, it any president, any right-thinking human being. And to me, that shows the impression of Nigeria state. As of today, what can you now look at the Senate under the leadership of Akpabio and say you are proud of them? The answer is no. Then look at what they have done. The issue of corruption is yet to suspend a woman over that. He became a judge and a jury in his own case that have never happened in the history of the world. And you are to take them serious? I will not take them serious because they have demonstrated character that makes us to say even the Senate, the Nigeria Senate and institution supposed to the Senate have not reflected on their mission, the core mission, to make a law for the betterment of all of us. We have not seen that. You look at the percentage. This is not the first time Senate they act as if they are cabal. I'm beginning to see the Senate as a cult group. That once you belong to there, any other thing you say, once you are no longer within their line of action, they declare war on you. This we are seeing Nigeria Senate behaving the way they just what they have. We remember when they suspended Senator Udome. This was the method they also you know, these are things, these are characteristics that have been demonstrated over the years by Nigeria Senate. And it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. And I expect the Nigerian women to make this as their primary responsibility. Nigerian women are supposed to speak out at this material time. Because the suspension placed on Senator Natasha Udoga is uncalled for. It is to force the potency of the girl child. Because is a woman. Therefore, my girls are also potential mother a woman. Therefore, why, at what point do we not deteriorate to this level that we cannot address issue on its merit? The woman raised an allegation. Why we expect the Nigerian Senate to be very bothered? If I were to be a member of I could be very bothered. Although my friend told me that if I'm a member of the Senate, with the way and manner they constitute themselves, anybody who tried to speak ill of the Senate will also receive. And you remember the Senator Sani of Kaduna State also informed us of what he passed through when he announced to the world his take-home pay. Therefore, the Nigerian Senate have not been able to demonstrate that to be proud of. They must have to review themselves. If they want Nigerians to take them very serious, they must review themselves. Thank you.
I like the fact that you talked about Alain Dume. Now, before we are joined by Barrister Douglas Obankwa, let's sketch around the issue of the legality. Let's tiptoe around it because we need someone to give us a legal opinion, you know. Now, I understand that a certain section of the Constitution says that members, legislators in Nigeria, be it the Senate, the House of Representatives, or the State Assembly, do not have powers to suspend one of their own because essentially that person represents constituents, a certain constituency, and doesn't represent himself. It also says that the relationship between the president or the chief whip and another senator is not a master-servant relationship, but a relationship of equals in the hallowed chamber. Now, I also like you to understand that a certain court of competent jurisdiction in this country said that, gave an injunction restraining the Senate from suspending Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan, yet they went ahead to suspend her. What is the legal, is it possible that you walk around the legal implications of these things? You mentioned Alain Dume. Alain Dume has been suspended for like 3 or 4 times. We had Omo Agege also suspended. And we had Abdul Ningi suspended the other day. If there is this provision, is it that Nigerians are not aware of it? Or is it that legislators themselves are not aware of it? Why? There's a conflict between the House rules and the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Constitution takes clearly precedent. Why is it that even in the midst of this provision, we see senators, House reps, House of Reps members, and assemblymen suspend their own in clear violation of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria?
As I said before, I said it's a reflection of Nigeria's state. Over the years, these have been our characteristics. A woman had an injunction from the Court of Competent Jurisdiction as a senator, restraining the Senate. They went ahead. And this is a Senate, a body of Senate that is empowered to rule, has rule, because that any law that is not in Nigerian constitution is not applied. At what point the Nigerian Senate now constitute themselves to be above the law? And that is my feeling about the whole arrangement, that those who have, if the one would happen to, we have to continuously interrogate the process, what is really going on in Nigeria. That a senator, despite a restraining order by Court of Competent Jurisdiction, they went ahead to suspend this very senator. And they have no apology for it. They are telling us that the senator should go and apologize. Those are the issues. We must critically look at this Nigeria. Look at Nigeria. We need. For how long shall we continue to dilly-die? For how long shall we continue to behave as if the whole world is on our part? Yet we have nothing to show for it. And that is my fear about this arrangement. What the Nigerian senator, what they just demonstrated, is a total violation of the law. And they know that there are many cases that have been cited on this direction in regards to when a senator or a House of Rep member is being suspended. And court have been very consistent in coming out with a decision. And the Nigerian senator are aware under the leadership of Akpabio, but they are aware. But they went ahead to suspend this woman because they are driven by ego. Because they have jettisoned the primary function to make law for the good of the. They know that what they demonstrated, they gave the fundamental principle of law. I was talking about this morning. You cannot be making law for 6 months. I will not be represented. My interests will not be protected. For my well-being will not be protected. Then I could have gone there so that we must take it to the next level. So after giving the compensation, for how long shall we continue to remain in this position? And that's my fear about it. Nigeria Senate must wake up at these materials.
Their representatives accountable.
That is what we are saying. We must, because from the people you get the senators. How do you see a group of 109 persons are sitting down? If you listen and watch the deliberation at the floor, then you begin to wonder that even within the political line, there was no longer, the discussion was not based on political line. Those in PDP, the legislature in PDP, you see that they were very mute. The legislators in APC, they were not bothered. What not tied them together is that spirit of continuously undermine the integrity of this country. The persons across the globe are saying, Nigeria, how do we degenerate to this level? Say and allege that she's being harassed. There are many ways you can harass a woman sexually. Harass a woman via through your eye, through your communication. Even shaking her with a woman, you can harass her. This is not the first time the senior president will be accused of sexual harassment. The records are there. You recall, we are in this country. This is not the first time. What we naturally expect, if we put ourselves, what we naturally expect the senior president to take a bow of this material and say, let's investigate. Consider them. It's to further intimidate her. This is a mere intimidation orchestrated by the leadership of the Senate to perpetually make this woman to remain very dominant. By the time she's coming back, they have killed her spirit. She will not be there. The commitment for her people will not be there. The determination will not be there. And that is what they want to do. And if they start taking, they will be able to achieve it. And that's the reason why I'm calling on her to, as a matter of urgency, approach the judiciary for interpretation. We must know what is going on in this sort of world. The difference between sin and for the studio, there's opportunity. Once the opportunity beckons on you, anybody can be senator. I'm not saying something so special about being a senator. It's just for me to contest election. Of those senators, because of the obedient movement struggle way back in 2023, we see another all of them. They became senators. Some of them never spent out to 120,000 naira to be a senator. I can mention names, and the records are there. Why are they not praying the God? That is very weighty of sexual harassment that's supposed to be addressed. They already put together a body to go and suspend that senator. And you expect me to be happy? You expect me to be happy? The women.
You mentioned, I like the fact that you talked about the PDP. Now, the suspended senator is a member of the PDP, People's Democratic Party. And in all of this, we have not seen the PDP caucus in the Senate utter a war to do the needful by either stepping aside or carrying out a proper investigation into the allegations. We have also not seen the PDP itself as a political party, whether the publicity secretary, the National Working Committee, the National Executive Committee, weigh in on this matter. Are the senators united in maintaining some form of elite consensus and willing to throw anyone that wants to upset the balance under the bus? Or does it have anything to do with the internal wranglings within the PDP? I mean, even the PDP leadership, like I said, has not uttered a word on this matter. What do you think is happening in the PDP?
This country, you remember Senator Sani? He said, once you are a senator, what happened there? They behave as if there is a court organization. They are not divided and not political line. We have never seen discussion from the Nigerian. They don't do that. Once they get there, what makes them to unite is that sharing formula. It unite them. That sharing formula always unite them together. And they eat at the same plate. They do that to the detriment of Nigeria. And PDP as a political party is very unfortunate. PDP as a political party, they are not shadow of themselves. They can no longer form quorum. Because one man are able to demobilize. That to me, I don't take PDP serious it is at the national level because there is no that cohesion is no longer in PDP. PDP is more or less neither here nor there. Therefore, they cannot speak for themselves. And the PDP caucus at the national assembly, once you are a senator, they maintain that unity. Unity is that an injury to one is an injury to all. Therefore, they don't believe again that there are issues that have to do with politics. You watch the United States of America, you see some of the policy coming up from Trump. You can see political parties are debating based on their party manifesto and party ideology. But in Nigeria, no. They are united. That sharing formula united to the detriment of Nigeria. And that's the reason why the PDP caucus are there again. Even the minority leader, where the minority leader, the side was for the, that will tell you that the PDP, they are gradually embracing extinction. And we must have to be very important because we need a strong opposition in this country. For democracy, there must be a strong opposition. Forget what have happened over the year. PDP have not been able to fund their food. They have not been able to be in charge as an opposition political party. They have not been able to organize. Organize for the people. That's the reason why things are going on. Very many things are going on in this country now because we don't have a sharp opposition that will be there for the people. People are now resorting to self-help. And it calls for a deep sober reflection that the political party that was in power for 16 years can no longer even make a recommendation. They can no longer even call the Senate. They cannot even talk to their members again because once we go individual, it's even now more larger and bigger than the political party.
Unfortunate and very sad, like you said. Now, since this allegation erupted, since it made on the scene, on the floor of the Senate, there has been protests by Akwa Ibom women and the South women, including Kogi women, who have made threats to recall Natasha if she goes on to pursue this case. Are those protests this voice of Jacob by the hand of Esau? I mean, we have also seen protests in Abuja where people carried placards in support of Natasha. Fabio is anti-North. What colorations are Nigerians giving this scandal? Do you think it's taking an ethnic dimension, an ethnic coloration? How could people just come out and say, look, Akpabio is anti-North? And you see some women in the South and even in Akwa Ibom carrying placards. You understand that these women, some of them don't even understand what is written on those placards. Does it look like someone is behind pulling the strings? And what do you think about all of these protests? You know, are they state managed, or do you think that people are doing it with understanding of the crux of the matter?
You know, just as we put to bed in the market square, what is she hiding? The country we find ourselves today is that you will agree with what some of those protests, some of those women were even holding those the packer they were holding, some turning those other. They don't even understand what was in. They are being mobilized, they are being sponsored, they are being financed. How can some person let this place to Abuja, South, some left Kogi to Abuja. Who is paying their transport? Who is feeding them? Why are we behaving as if we don't know what's going on in this country? These persons have been mobilized to do their job. You agree with me? Or poverty in the land. You embark on such a mission a day, you are sure of 10 to 15,000. Why will you not carry a understand what is written on it? This is not the first time we are seeing protests in this country where there have been state money that have been organized and financed by the power that be. And even the power that don't be also, they also made some attempt to undermine the process. To me, that issue of protest is not a people who went there, who are there, many persons will continue to come because this is an opportunity for them to also get something for the national cake as far as they are concerned. 10 to 15,000 will be good for them. So I told you during the youth season, you recall, I saw family of three put money together to buy a chicken. I saw it in this town. Therefore, now family of two can get 30,000 just for you coming out today. Why would they not do that? Why there'll be protest. You don't need to waste money. Or that protest is being financed and organized by the power that be. It's so sure a supremacy fight. I am here, you are there. It's not between them. And you also know over the years, the reason why Nigeria is have not been able to take a firm stand is that we are divided along ethnicity. We are divided along religion. Divided along your place of birth. And that's the reason some people will say it's a fight between this and this. They will look for anyway. So I was told very just now that if there is a part in this country that the fasting is going on, that if you are not fasting, you will be arrested. So that fasting is not done for people. Then you now understand the mentality of this society and those who have elected over the years. And it's just a mere supremacy battle. You mobilize your people, I mobilize my people. At the end of the day, that's the end of the day, and there is nothing to show up. And that's the reason why I'm very concerned that Senator Udwaga should go to court, approach the matter, let us see the end of it. And people who she is also representing, they should also go to court to challenge the legality of the suspension. And also at the court will not determine what is the fate of the person she is representing. You cannot just because of the conduct of one individual that you are led that for misconduct, that a group of persons, over 100,000 people, over 200,000 people, will now be perpetually separated from the system. It doesn't make sense to anybody. It doesn't make sense. And that is also the reason why I'm one of those who believe that she have to go to court.
Accepting Obi Ezekwesili, the former Minister for Education, we haven't seen women roll out in support of Natasha. You recall what Ireti Kingibe said about Natasha. You also recall what Florence has been cheap by alleging that it happened to women supporting women. Do you think that women are against her because she's a woman, or do you think they are against her because they think that she is wrong in what she did? Should she have kept quiet in all of this?
They have never been for women. They have never been for women. You must understand that. Even growing up as a young student at University of Benin, I remember during our election and all those, most of the never support women because there is that perpetual permitted to use the word hatred. That an average woman, especially you are looking at a woman like a Senator Udwaga, very appealing to the eyes and who possess qualities that you are proud of. Submission and presentation. Naturally, women have a way of coming out with that spirit of jealousy, and that is what they are just exhibiting. There is something special, that's what they are doing. It's natural and inherent about women to look at one another and say, "Why are you going on? Why are you going on? But why are you dealing with woman?" But they take this issue of harassment. They take it very likely in this part of the world because there are no values again. It's only in the civil life that I'm being harassed. A woman will say, "I'm being harassed," and you see women rally around. In Nigeria here is a country where you say when our leaders misbehave in terms of harassing any person, they will only tell you, say, now only you did there. I better enter house. People don't do and pass. These are the mentality we have, and that's the reason why Women don't support women. Women don't support women in this country, and they will never support because there is that perpetual enmity. Power play support the men because they believe that they are under men, and that also, and you also know that the religion, the kind of religion we prefer, also make men to be the head. They want to continuously remain and say, if at times some women are struggling for position with men, you can see the fellow women will be telling her, go and sleep. This position is not for you. Leave it for the man. The man is the head. Nobody. We are not bothered about the intellectual ability of a man or the woman, but we are, because it's a woman, she is limited. And open it. You cannot limit the scope for women, and that is my fear about it. We should open up, allow women, let there be opportunity for all of us to compete. If a woman is good and sound, and you know you have the ability to deliver, you are mentioning the senator representing those are never spend up to 100,000 to be a senator. She enjoyed. She talked about the senator. Ijeoma was once there. Once you are there, that we were told one senator is a senator. They have a way and manner they protect themselves, and they will continue to protect themselves at that level until there is a division among them that you see them. They perpetually want to continue to be romancing, believing that they are one, even when they know that they are not one. It's a very sad scenario and a sad situation we find ourselves here.
Kingibe has also been insulted by Senate President Godswill Akpabio. So a lot of Nigerians were surprised that she could come out that way, to attack Natasha, even if it wasn't an attack. But a lot of people felt that she should have sided with Natasha. Now, talking about women supporting women, we have also heard that the first waiting on this. I mean, Remi Tinubu, she has weighed in on the matter and drawing from her 12 years experience, in the Senate, advised women to stand firm and not allow themselves to be disrespected. She said, and I quote, "Women, raise yourself. Don't put yourself in a position where men will talk to you anyhow. Shut them down before they start," she said. Now, shutting them down before they start, isn't that what Natasha did? And it's difficult for people to interpret. How do you interpret what she said? And I'll also like to recall, the ugly experience the First Lady had with Dino Malaya, where Dino made unprintable threats against her. In what place did she put herself before Dino disrespected her? I don't know if you can recall what Dino said about her. Did she put herself up, for Dino to insult her and all of that? How do you interpret what the First Lady said for men to disrespect you? Can you help us understand what she said, if you can?
Position of Dino Malaya, some of the language he used against Remi, some of us also question that why will you use those kind of adjectives to qualify a senator? This is not the first time. Do you recall that the woman was a Bible going? Was he suspended? You recall the senator who also went to go and I think abuse one of that man at in Abuja. One of the senators, I think he's from Adamawa State, one of the youngest senator at the time. Serious altercation with the senator. Was she suspended for 6 months? Why two sides? That's not the issue. How do you expect a woman to say, hold your ground, maintain yourself, so that they will not? I have said that sexual harassment happens in different forms. A woman can shake a man and he will be harassed in that process. If based on your communication, you can harass a woman. Based on your body language and gesticulation, you can abuse a woman. You don't need, like when you have that kind of skin that is very alluring, you have a skin, you are very outstanding in terms of beauty. Naturally, men will want to undo you because they believe that out of the 109 senators, how many women are there? You should understand. Men are looking at that. Look at the woman and say, you are supposed to be one of my home cooking for me now. Why are you here? They have that ability. But because we are in a society that ethics is not with the values are no longer there. And that is why when I listen to the First Lady or her conclusion, I bow my head shame because I don't expect her to. She has been there. She has had series of issues with a service senator as her then, and she was about going physical. We know the intervention. We know how, because of her level and the pedigree, was she suspended for 6 months? Yes, I know, because of her background maybe. And you are now saying that this woman, a senator, is just coming on board. A dynamic senator who is doing well. Go and look at the presentation when the woman was doing her presentation for 1 year in office. Go and see the empowerment. Go, when I shout wow, I shouted wow, that this is a kind of woman, the kind of empowerment she rolled out for her people. She will continuously people there. She is serving. And that can also propel to a kind of jealousy that is also playing out at the National Assembly. That how can the first timer like you be coming out at this level? You recall how the way Amanda she won that election against all the gimmicks, against all the maneuver, against all the shenanigans. At the time, they had to go there and start digging her around everywhere so that they cannot access us. At the end of the day, the president does it. These are some of the what the woman have. As we continue, this senator will continuously remain as a phenomenon in our political code, as far as I'm concerned, because you have demonstrated.
So Akpabio's special aide on media and communication said that it was actually Natasha, that more like put herself up to be harassed by not just by Senator Akpabio, but that she was coming to chamber with transparent dressing and all of that. That she was painting her face with pancake. I would like to ask you: is it possible for women, to also harass men at that level in the chamber? Is there a possibility that could happen? That Senator Natasha was, by her actions or inactions, also trying to put herself up to be harassed, or even harassing fellow senators by wearing transparent clothing to
use this scenario. If naturally he draw this kind of conclusion, that is to me, that is an admitter. It's taking responsibility that of the truth she have been aroused. No, what does not be known to you does not be known to you. No matter how the woman presents herself, we must be able to maintain that decorum. It don't be known to me. No matter your dress, I am not moving with I am not what console my heart and my own belief about how why use the hotel that the woman is. That because you can go anything go, you can you can just dash into it. Is that what he's telling us? They must know how to articulate issue. A service senator, I look at this is a woman who always cover her head. He has a unique style of covering her head. Covering to that, she now wearing transparent thing that is not moving this man to be happy, to be want to continuously harass her. To me, this is not a defense. It's just what we for me to take serious. Because as a senator at that level, how many of the senators are women as are today? At night. You should ask yourself, how do you expect them? Do you know the kind of intimidation on a daily basis? Do you know have you ever just imagine the kind of intimidation these persons will be receiving on a daily basis? A group where you have men, selected men, only few of them are there. Do you know what that's the reason why when I hear the senator representing Abuja, when she was talking, I said, I don't expect something different from you. You have to quickly align with the system that be so that you continue to enjoy and benefit from the development. That is just the issue. There is nothing special about those things. A woman cannot to me. If you are telling me that is the reason why you become very loose to want to go and assault her or harass her sexually. Bama head is shame for you, and you should take responsibility for your irresponsibility.
All right, Comrade Roy, a lot of people have also said that, look, the way and manner that Natasha put out her complaints about the change of her seat, her sitting position and all of that, that it was wrong. Do you think that there's a better way she could have handled all of this so that this kind of uproar, that her mere change of seat has generated would have been avoided? Do you think she could have handled it differently than what she did?
I also believe that the leadership of the National Assembly, or the clerk of the House, supposed to communicate to her that your seat, there are sitting arrangements. We were told even their names are being tagged on those chairs. You go there, you see their tags, their names are there. Then you are coming to the chamber, you find out that your name is, they don't communicate to her. And what do you expect her to do at that level. She became a very low ranger because nobody to speak for her. Nobody called that basically she's seen a lot of unforeseen hands of intimidation. And that was demonstrated when she raised her voice to say, why was my seat changed? Even the Senate president, if he gets to the chambers tomorrow and find out that the guy the position he left, will he not be bothered? We are in a society that are very suspicious. Will he not be bothered? This from spiritual clarification. That what is going on? These are some of the things that is natural and inherent in us. Why are we pretending? The woman have every.
Those what they are saying is that she could have simply used the seat at that moment, and after the plenary, after session, now she will now lay a formal complaint, probably to the clerk of the house or any other person. Should she have done that to avoid all these hoopla, you know, that surround her change of seat and that led to the sexual allegations, harassment allegation and all of that?
There are issues that it is hard before a woman come to a conclusion to say you are harassing me sexually. She must know what she's passing through. Maybe that's the reason why I said we need to also be very careful. Before the woman left her that morning, prophet must have called her. Be very careful where you are going. They are going to change your seat. Once they change your seat, you don't resist them. Be very careful how you sit down today. There are many informations going on, either from the spiritual dimension or from the traditional dimension. Around to try to make some relevant. We should not be bothered. I just ask you now very just that. If you see your seat not well positioned where you usually use now as of today, and you are coming there tomorrow, is positioned somewhere, and your prophet have also discovered you in the body, look out for your seat. And you say, will you not react? It's not that. I've been in the Nigerian Senate to look at her and say, well, it's a woman. And naturally, you know, when even below standard, people will say, leave her. Does not take anything to say, Senator, your seat, because of your sitting arrangement are big. She did not just get to the Senate chamber and just move it. She must have been in her office spending some time. I expect there's supposed to be a communication. There was a breakdown of communication. And the Senate is supposed to take responsibility. Why are they blaming the woman? It's just mere intimidation of people. She as an interloper. She just elected, duly elected. The Senate president at the time need to be Senate. That is what he is presiding over. There is no other subservient level that they are Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Why would she be treated like that? Is it because she's a woman? Is it because she's a woman? Is it because she's a girl child? Is it because she's a wife? Is that how she should be treated? Be able to protect we must be able to protect our women so that they will know that our political discourse, our political standing have nothing against them.
Okay.
Any serious woman who will tell you what they pass through in the hands of men politically when go arena, they were all of a sudden, all of us, we are pretending as if we don't know how this is work. We are pretending. If your wife is a politician, will you be very happy at the middle or not she's going to meet it? Politicians and political parties deliberately fix meeting at the middle of the night. They will say, let them come. When you not come, they look for any way to try to harass or manipulate you. And we are pretending as if we don't know what is going on.
Unfortunately, that is what it is. Now, Roy, before we leave, you said something about Natasha going to court. That's the legal track. Don't you think that it would be easier for her to use the political route, to redress this issue, look for a way to walk around it with her political party, the elders of her constituency and all of that? Because if Senate has suspended her in that fashion, what guarantee do we have that the same powers in the Senate will not affect or influence the court decision and now keep her in perpetual suspension? Which track do you think that she should use, the legal or the political?
No, to me, approaching the court will be good so that helps and broaden our political discourse. But secondly, political solution is council. I believe she has some network within the National Assembly and outside National Assembly. She can reach out. If reaching out, I don't have anything. I am a trained lobbyist. reach out to some lobbyists. You know, she can reach out to some of us who are lobbyists. We help her to go and lobby. At the end of the day, she can be recalled, you know. But we cannot be in a hurry to tell her to go and apologize. I don't want to subscribe to that now.
All right.
But she can reach out. Reaching out mechanism to be enforced at this material time, so that whichever way we can see, if matter can be settled politically, it's even better. So that at the end of the day, it will be you record that there is one phrase that if you cannot beat them, you join them, because the intimidation and the harassment will continue. If she can navigate her way politically and it does serve as a panacea, then to God be the glory. She should reach out.
All right.
Reach out to some of us who are lobbyists. We can help her. But in terms of political, that's a political party now, they have shadowed themselves. They come a quorum to address fundamental issues.
Okay. All right. Now this is where we have to end the show because we are out of time. Many thanks to you, Comrade Roy Oriabo, you know, a political affairs analyst, political affairs commentator, and human rights activist. Gentlemen, thanks for coming to Political Lens. Now, Political Lens returns on Monday, March 10, 2025 at 6 p.m. Also, join me tomorrow at 3 o'clock, that is West African time, and 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for Diaspora Perspective Show. I am Chukwuma Okoro. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and bye for now.